Good morning. I first and foremost want to thank you all for making the drive here to have your voices heard. It's about time, folks. People, Sacramento needs to hear it. Californians need to hear what is going on. Americans, not just in California, but outside of California, need to hear what is going on with our water situation and food, and soon our food situation. We all know here in California we have a groundwater problem. We all know that. And I know, and you know, that you want to be part of the solution, and you are part of the solution. But I believe the real problem is less about you and more about fraud and market manipulation over our water in California. That's right. California's water history reminds us that it's not just investors who are to blame for fraud or market manipulation. We must also consider the role that professional consulting firms play in our water outcomes. The inherent complexity of SGMA has left some GSAs in need of hiring private consulting firms to help them develop their plans and also to measure regional and local water use. The framework of GSAs, the various water measuring models and data have not been properly vetted. They have not been properly vetted, folks. So how is it possible that some farmers are being charged for water when their pumps are off? How is that possible? How are you supposed to pay for something when you never used it? The problem only gets worse because the design is intentionally formed to push you out. And investors are ready to profit off of you. They're ready. Which is all the more alarming when we hear that investors may be purchasing water rights to sell water back to farmers and towns, all while marking the price sky high. That doesn't only make me angry, it makes me scared and nervous. And everybody should be scared and nervous. You know, I have real concerns that private investors and their interest on water rights purchasing is worsening our water crisis. These people are purchasing our water to make money, not to use it to grow food or crops, but to sell it for the highest price. I don't think that's drought profiteering anymore. I feel like it's racketeering at this point. And folks, we do not want our water or our land being monopolized. And that's essentially what's going to happen if we continue to allow this. Too much is at stake. The world is facing a global food crisis and a water crisis. The stakes are high for all Americans because you feed us. And I'm told that 1 acre of land feeds about 3 to 4 people, including a child. Imagine this. We are being told that 1 million acres of land will be fallowed. Although I think that that number is going to be much larger and much sooner too. But who will feed the 4 million people when those acres are fallowed? 4 million people. What will happen to the small towns like Coalinga or Avenal or Tiviston? Where will they get their water? They're already struggling. And what about the 60,000 farms and farmers in California? Where will they go? Where will you go? What will you do? Farming for many farmers goes back generations in our families. I know my father and our family farmed in Mexico, and then they immigrated here and were farm workers and worked in agriculture. And I know that story is very much true for many of you, if not all of you who are here today. So what will happen to you? What would happen to us? And what about California's economy? Agriculture is the backbone of California's economy, contributing more than 21.7 billion in exports alone. Again, I believe that farmers have the solutions, but politicians, yes, including myself, need to hold bad actors accountable. This is why earlier this year, I asked the Department of Justice, the US Department of Justice, to look into whether drought profiteering and data manipulation surrounding water is occurring here in the state of California. I believe it is, and I think that you know that it is. And I want to end with this. To any and all who are profiteering off this drought, you are doing something indisputably immoral. We will find out who you are and make sure you are held accountable for your wrongdoing. Thank you for having me here.